Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Melo Zambia. We're live here on Melo Zambia Facebook page and YouTube channel. My name's Kutemba Falanga, and today we'll be talking about living with someone with autistic spectrum disorder. Now, we'll look at a simple definition of that. Autistic, or should I say, autism spectrum disorder refers to a group of complex neurodevelopment disorders, which are basically characterized by repetitive patterns of behavior, which makes it difficult for these people to have social communication. This topic to me is quite personal because I have a sister who's autistic. She's my older sister, and I have quite an experience growing up, with an autistic person. From the time I was young to the time I came to understand what disorder she had and coming to, relate to her. So I'll start with a few things. First of all, autism there are mild cases, there are severe cases. When it comes to my sister, it's a severe case. So there are some things that I'll talk about depending on the experience that I've had with her. It might be different with other people that I'm sure you people have come in contact with, you people live with, or you people have heard of, because usually when it comes to autism, in our community, people take it as, well, it's either a taboo or it's witchcraft or it's, demons. But I think if we got educated and if we taught each other to say autism is this and that, would be on the right track. So I'll start with some of the few things that happens in my day-to-day life with my sister. So she has a verbal with distorted speech. When I say that, I mean, there's some autistic people that are non-verbal, and that there are those that are actually verbal, but then their speech is distorted. So she would talk to you, but then not like any other normal human being or any other person would talk to you. So you have to live with her. You have to really be patient. You really have to understand what they're trying to say to you. And when I talk of distorted speech, this person is 30 years, but then their speech would be equivalent to maybe someone who's, I would say, 5 years. You see? So that is autism. It has its ups and downs. I mean, it's there. You just have to accept it. So there are a few things that happen. These people perform rituals. When I say they perform rituals is, they would wake up. She wakes up and she has a question. Usually it can be a question or it can be a statement. If she wants, she'll keep asking you the same question over and over. If she'll ask you, are you going to school? For me, it's more of, are you going to school? So I've told her time and again to say, no, I'm not going to school. I'm done with school. But because it's a ritual, it will come all over. It can happen. It can be asked even 100 times, So she'll constantly ask you, are you going to school? You have to say, no, I'm not going to school. She'll go around, come back, are you going to school? So you have to have patience and understanding, because if you don't have patience, you would easily snap like, look, I've been telling you no, 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 but you keep asking me. So you have to understand to say these people come with they perform rituals. That's what we call them. Say they perform rituals, and they are very hyperactive. When I say they're very hyperactive, I mean she'll be seated in her room, and someone just passes. She'll just hear footsteps. She will stand and follow the person. You'll get tired every time. Her name is Chichi, by the way. Every time you always have to tell her, no, Chichi, sit down. Chichi, sit down. That will go on and on and on and on. They are so active that they don't get tired. They will follow you everywhere. You stand, they follow. You go, it doesn't matter who it is. Whenever they just hear footsteps, whether it's at night, it's during the day, it's early in the morning, whether they are sick or they are not sick. It's very funny sometimes, they'll just follow you. And you have to have that type of understanding to say, okay, this is a person with this disorder, So sometimes you just ignore it. Sometimes you constantly have to remind them to say, look, sit down, or look, let me pass, you are disturbing me, or this and that and that and that. So usually they have late development of speech skill. Like I said earlier on, she's 30 years, but her speech is is equivalent to someone who's 5 years old. So you may wonder, it's quite interesting, coming to think of it. You may wonder, this person talks to people every day, but then what's causing this? Like, what's causing the late development? And also, you have to accept, you have to be calm, you have to listen, especially the part of listening. You always have to listen before you talk, because they are trying to communicate, but the way they communicate is different from any other person. So you constantly have to listen. Oh, okay, so what is it you want? They'll tell you, no, I'm hungry, or this and that. Some of the things you understand, okay, so they want this, they want that. Not always though, because sometimes it's hard for them to express themselves. So you wouldn't really understand what they really want or what they mean. So you'll find that this person is hungry and you offer them food. You offer her, Chichi, do you want to eat? She'll be saying, no, I'm full. In the actual sense, they mean, I'm hungry. Yes, I'm hungry. Give me food. You ask her again, Chichi, do you want to eat? No, I'm full. But she'll just be yawning. So then you tend to understand. Say, I think this person has gotten this thing, mixed up. And what you do is, okay, you try, okay, let me see, you get food, you give them, you find they eat, they finish, you now understand, say, oh, so this person was actually hungry. So there are times when they get it right, they'll come to tell you, say, I'm hungry, or I want to sleep, good night. Or their rituals, they'll be telling you I love you the whole day. They'll just come, Kutemba, I love you. I always have to say, oh, thank you, I love you too. They'll forget they are just from telling you I love you. Or they'll do something, you know they'll do something, and you tell them, no, that is not good, that is bad, stop it. And guess what? They'll come and say sorry, go back and do the same thing over again, you know come back, say sorry, go back and do the same thing. It goes on and on and on and on. And all you have to do is understand, because they are different, they are special. I hate to say they are disabled. No, they are special. They just have a disorder. They're quite different. Otherwise, we are all, you know we are all the same. Then there are times when it's very funny. So growing up, she was one person who would eat everything you offer her, as long as she sees I'm eating, because growing up, we grew up together. We have that strong relationship, connection. She understands I'm her sister. So whatever food she would see me eat, she would also want to eat. Whatever food I'll eat, she would want to help me finish it. But then as she grew older, or as she's grown, you find that she's become very selective. So she doesn't like vegetables, she doesn't like fruits. She will always demand for protein foods like meat, or she will demand for things like pizza. And you have to find a way of, of bribing her, I would call it, because she always thinks whatever I do is right. So if I have to make sure she eats that, I have to be there, she sees me eating it, then now she'll be convinced to say, oh, okay, so because this person is doing it, I guess I can do it as well. So it becomes interesting. You wonder, like, okay, this person is old, but then you can't know to say you have to eat this, or you have, but no, they will just say I want this. And when they want that, it's what they want. It's very, very hard to convince them, especially if you do not have a good relationship with these people. When I say these people, I mean my sister personally, because there are other cases. Children are different. Even the homes they're coming from, are different. So you find that what helps with the development and what helps with the improvement is the homes that they're coming from. Most homes have failed to accept, these children. You find uh, at a tender age, they notice these differences from other children, and they're trying to hide these children. Visitors come, they hide them in the bedroom. You wouldn't even know there's this child in this house, which is very wrong. But we'll talk about that later. Then we also have they have limited eye contact. So what happens is you're having a conversation with them. They'll really won't look into your eyes like for a long time. If they do that, meaning they trust you, they're close to you, they're comfortable around you. But mostly, you would be talking to them, they're looking somewhere else. And if let's say you're a visitor, you come, you would think this person is very rude. No, they're not rude. They just have a limited, eye contact. So you're talking to them, chichi this, chichi that. She'll be responding, but she's looking somewhere else. She's just okay, yeah, yes, no, but she's looking somewhere else. Why? Because they have that limited, eye contact, and also their social interactions is limited to certain people. You don't expect them to talk to everyone. They might talk to me, but they won't talk to my friend. Why? Because they're limited. So I was recently talking to a friend, and he was surprised when I posted about the same autism and all the talk, the live thing today. And he was like, wait, your sister is autistic? I'm like, yes. I've said that over and over again. And he laughed and told me to say, I actually thought she's just not a people person, because every time I'm around this person, they don't say a word. So I thought they're just maybe not social, and I laughed, say, no, they're actually autistic. So maybe they're not yet comfortable being around you. Maybe you try, to initiate, to try and converse with them. You try say hello, be friendly, because they know, and they know to say this person is friendly, this person is not, this person will hurt me. And what's more interesting with these people is that it's like they have a sixth sense, you know. There are some things that happen that you would wonder to say, because, for example, someone is planning on, let's say, visiting, and they've not yet communicated to say they're visiting. She'll just, start talking about the person. She'll be like, okay, this one come, this one come. And you'd wonder to say, why are they talking about this person coming? You'll be surprised an hour later this person arrives, or this person calls to say I'm on my way, and you'd wonder, like, how did they know, to say this person is coming? Or you would find that you hide something. There have been times, my mother would maybe hide something under her mattress, just to try and see what, and she's not there when she's doing that. But the moment she enters, she'll find that she's removed whatever she's hidden and pushed on top of the bed. Or you think, okay, let me hide this. She shouldn't find this. She'll go and find it and bring it to you. And she's very, very protective of other people's things. So if, let's say, I left my phone and someone else tried to touch my phone, that is going to be a problem. She will have to call me or get the phone, bring it to me, and report to say, this person wanted to get your phone, or this person wanted to get this, or this person wanted to do that. So it's quite interesting. You tell her, no, it's fine. This person can touch, it's okay. But no. They know to say, this thing belongs to this one. That thing belongs to that one. So it becomes, it becomes very funny. Sometimes you constantly have to tell them, no, it's fine. This person, it's fine. Or you'll find that if, let's say, I'm away and people visit home, or anything happens, the moment I get home, I've not even maybe removed the moment she just hears that I'm home, she'll come and start narrating everything that happened, from the person who came, from what she ate, and from everything that happened. So we've had instances where we've employed helpers, maybe my parents, by the time my parents were both working before my father retired, and they're both busy, and I'm at school. So we needed someone to be home. So you find that we would employ these helpers, but because they didn't understand to say this person is like this, they would try and you treat them, or punish them where it's not even necessary. Find you leave food to say this food is for this person, they don't give them, they lock them up in the room. And then every time we get home, they would always report, and they would try to be defensive. No, that didn't happen, she's just lying. But one thing is that these people rarely lie. And coming to my sister, she never lies. Whatever she tells you is the absolute truth. So we had instances where that happened, and we just had to let go of these people, because at the end of the day it affected her development, because of that bitterness, because of that, the cruelty. You find that we realized that it became hard for her to express herself. Sometimes she would keep to herself. She just became different, and you find that she would do things out of anger, not because she wants to, but because she's just upset. And that didn't help at all, because what we wanted as a family is for progress to happen. These people have got schools that we take them to, special schools. Most families, I've noticed, most families don't want to take their special children to special schools. Why? Because maybe people will laugh at me, people will think I did something and this happened where I have this child, or people are embarrassed to say, if people know to say I have such a child, maybe people won't respect me, or people will look at me differently. But that is very wrong, because these people have schools, and at those schools they have specialized teachers, not just any teachers. These people go study special education, and they know how to treat each child, because each child is different. Each special child is different. There are some that are mild cases, some are severe cases, some are violent. Some are violent. I would give an example. A child is autistic. They react to crowds, and you take them to a crowd, and they start acting funny. Not that they're misbehaving, no, because they're reacting. They're not used to that crowd. So you have to know all those things. And they're taken to schools to try and control those, tempers, those tantrums, control them, because sometimes a mother cannot teach a child to say you're not supposed to do that, or you have to do this way, or you have to bath, or you have to. But then when they go to school, they look at other children, they feel, okay, this is my place, because I'm relating with these other children. Unlike you taking them to a school where they are normal children, what will happen is that those are slow learners. They won't get anything. They'll be frustrated. Out of that frustration, you're not helping them. You're just making the situation to become worse. So sometimes you just have to accept us. Acceptance is actually, the number one key. Because when a mother accepts this child and shows love to this child, and shows love that she's showing to other children, it helps with the confidence in that autistic child. It helps with development. I noticed something. So growing up, my sister's speech has been quite bad, but she can't read. By the way, she can't read. But then at first, because I know she would break these things, so we would get her toy phones. Toy phones growing up. Then she stopped wanting those toy phones. You give her a toy phone, she says no. She wants a smartphone. We tried giving her a normal phone with buttons. She said no, because everyone else is using smartphones. I also want a touch. We went and got her that. We gave her. What's very, very surprising is that this person can't read, but she's able to change things like a wallpaper. She's able to she knows where the camera is, because of us giving her and making her feel to say, okay, you can use what I can use. So here, do it. So because she sees us taking pictures, she now knows how to take pictures. She'll just get her phone, take pictures, take videos, record herself, and start playing those recordings, listening. She'll come and show you, look what I did. And every time they do something, it's important to actually applaud them. Tell them, oh, very good, that's very good, good girl. They get motivated to do better. So she can change her wallpaper, she can do all those things. And she knows whenever something starts happening, when she sees that people getting phones to record, she gets her phone, starts recording. But this person can't read. How does she know the camera is here? How does she know I have to change the wallpaper from here? You have to help them with that development. It just doesn't come. Also, the love that you're giving them at home determines what situation or how bad the situation gets. Because if these people are getting love, what happens is they know to say, okay, I'm just like them, so I'll be like them. But the moment you don't give them love, they tend to be frustrated, become violent, do all sorts of things, and then you'd wonder why is this person acting like this? No, because you're not giving them that love. So the moment you accept them, the moment you give them love, the moment you take them to the right schools, everything just, everything just goes well. These people are very loving. My sister is very, very loving person, and she really loves her siblings. There are things no one, and I can assure you, no one can try and mess with us because she would be very, very defensive. Even times that maybe we're growing up and parents tried to, maybe you do something wrong and they're trying to whip you, she would always come in and say, don't, leave her alone, try to defend, get you away, don't do that. Or I'm an asthmatic patient, so what happens is there have been a few times that maybe I'm home and I have chest congestions, I have an asthmatic attack, and then she just goes crazy. She will start shouting, can you help her, help her, because she doesn't know what to do, so she starts panicking. So she'll start knocking on, can you help her, pulls people, come help her, do that. Or my sister is sick, she would just be like, she's sick, she would kneel down, start praying, this that. Of course her speech is not good, but you would understand, say she's talking about this, she talks about keywords, talking about God, this or this that. And afterwards, just say, oh, thank you. Good. She'll try cooking. She gets excited when you tell her, cook this. So she'll go there. Now, what's funny is because she really doesn't know how to do it. So, and one of her favorite meals is French fries. So you peel potatoes for her, put some oil, just enough, reduce the heat on the stove. The moment she just puts those fries on that pan, she will continue staring until there. You just have to tell her, stop doing that. Just wait. She'll stop. The moment you look somewhere else, the repetitive behavior I talked about earlier, she'll continue doing it. You just have to be there. Now it's like you're cooking double. You're helping her cook, but you also have to make sure she doesn't touch. She doesn't touch that. So all those things. I would like, autism to be educated more. I like the awareness that's there right now. It's quite better than the one that was there before. But then if maybe more effort is put into this, and if more people come out to say, okay, I've got an autistic child, there's no shame in having an autistic child. It's a blessing. So I feel if more parents, more families, talk of families, sometimes we as siblings or parents, there's that sibling stress. We have it. You can't run away from it because you constantly have to take care of this person. So from a tender age, from a time you're very young, you start taking care of this person. Maybe they're even older than you, but you continue until they die. It's an ongoing thing. So sometimes you get stressed, and stress usually affects the parent, the mother, to be precise, because the mother has to make sure this child is okay. The mother has to make sure this child has eaten. The mother, even when they are far away, all they think about is that child, right? Because this child is different. And if you just let them like that, or they'll end up maybe dying of hunger. Maybe the people that are home really don't care if this child eats. So sometimes these families, aunties, uncles, it's important to, get this child, even just for 3 days. It's enough for someone to have a breather. Get this child, get to know how they act, get to know them. Let the parent rest. It's really important because sometimes it becomes too frustrating. And you're just like, oh, this is too much for me, this is too much for me. But then if these other family members came in and said, okay, I would like this child maybe to come and visit, even just for 2 3 days, that would help. That would help most families with these autistic people. Or let's say they're having parties. Usually these kids are left out. Invite them. They love such things. They love it when they're being loved. And they know if it's genuine love. So sometimes, you just take time. You invite them. When you invite them, they come. Of course, you're cautious, to say, okay, I can't give them this, I can't do that, I can't. But just the gesture of you inviting them, they get excited. You have no idea how they feel. My sister gets excited when you tell her we are going somewhere. It might be just by the roadside, but the moment you just tell her, say, Chichi, dress up, we're going this side, she gets too excited. You even wonder, like, what's the excitement? She will start singing, and she's very huge. She will start jumping, singing, goes chooses her favorite outfit, and they have they have a favorite outfit. So if you know to say this child is autistic and they like this black, maybe it can be a black jean, it can be any color, it can be anything. Try and get them the same thing, but try and get more of them, because when they bath, when my sister takes her bath, she wants to wear the same clothes over and over. When you give her something else, she'll say no, unless you just convince her to say, okay, you wear this, we go this side. Okay, fine. You've negotiated there. But then she just wants to wear the same things every day. She likes the same things every day. When I say every day, she takes a bath, same clothes. So what we do is you get many sets of those clothes, so that she won't know to say, okay, is this the thing that I wore while she's bathing? Just change secretly those, take them some, wash them, just like that. So she gets too excited. She goes into those clothes, goes out. So the reason why she can't move alone is because with her crossing the road, it's quite dangerous, because she doesn't do the look left, look right. She knows, if I'm going at that shop, all I have to do is just pass and go. They will stop for me. So hence, usually she's home. If she has to go somewhere, you have to go with her. Otherwise, when it comes to moving, she's very, very, very excited. So it's these little things that help these children, or that help these families, because people go through a lot. People Some people have these children, they've been trying to have kids for a long time, then they have this child, or it just comes, it just happens. We fail to understand how it happens. You can't say no, when you do this is caused by, no, it just happens. A child is just born like that, autistic, and you'll have to learn, you have to understand, you have to accept, you have to do all those things. And I keep emphasizing, acceptance is the first key. If you don't accept these children, it becomes worse. It becomes worse, and that won't help you or the child. It will just make it worse for you. It will be more pressure on your part. It will really kill you slowly. It's a slow death. So all I can advise is, the awareness should continue. Let's be proud of these children. Let the government or these institutions make good programs for these people. These people are intelligent. There are some that are very, very intelligent, but because of their condition and people not being able to understand them, they just let them be. And talent is going to, these people have skills. They learn through skills. So they are, recently I just found out to say, I won't mention the school, but there's a place, it's a special school, and they're grade sevens, and they're writing the same exams as these normal children. And that's quite unfair, because when you look at these other children, they can read and write. They can read, write, their speech is okay, they can understand. But you look at a special child, you look at an autistic child, this person needs patience. You need to explain to them, to say this, that. Sometimes they'll get it, sometimes they won't get it. So you don't expect them to have the same exam, and when they fail you, they repeat. No, that's quite unfair. I would urge, if it's, I don't know, Ministry of Education or this, if they would just change the curriculum and say this one is for special children and this one is for these others. That way, even as they're learning these skills, as they're growing older, they'll perfect these skills, because there are different skills that are taught in these special schools, especially when the child gets older. At least they should have a skill. What can they do? Can they cook? Some of these people cook. Some they can mend something. You give them, they're very intelligent. They not say this has gone wrong, this has happened. But then if we say no, they'll do the same things as these other children, or no, I'll take my child to a normal school. You're just killing the child, and you're killing yourself. So let us come together, because as a community we can do a lot of things, and as a country we can better ourselves by taking this awareness, not only here in the capital. Let's look at those deep places. There are these villages where we have a lot of these cases, but because those people are not educated about this, they don't have the awareness. They treat it as, no, it's witchcraft, it's demons, it's that, this and that. Some children are kidnapped, killed, what. But then if we go there, we teach them to say having such a child is normal, and how to take this child. And tone is very, very important with these children, because if, in as much as they'll frustrate you, yes, frustration is there, they'll frustrate you, but when they're doing something wrong, the best way to actually educate them or tell them, say this is wrong, is by you being calm. Just tell them, Chichi, bad manners. Chichi, that is bad. They will tell you, oh, sorry. In as much as they'll do it again, just good tone. This applies with, even every other children or other people. If you use a good tone talking to me, even if I'm wrong, as long as the tone is good, I'll understand. So why should you yell or shout or scream at these children because what, they can't get it? That's how they are. That's who they are. So if you embrace that and know to say, okay, I will tell this person a couple of times, a million times, and I don't have to get tired, then that way things will be better. It will be a better Zambia for these autistic children. They'll be free. They'll come out. They'll express themselves. Because in as much as it's hard for them to express themselves through communication, but when they feel to say everyone is on my side and everyone is for me, I feel there'll be better people. I feel we'll realize to say we have a lot of these children, and bring them together and make all these programs for them, and make more schools, train more people, train more people to deal with these children, because special children are special. They're from God, and there's nothing we can do about it. So if you have any questions or any queries about autism or whatever I've talked about today, you can write us through Melo Media. We'll find a way of responding, and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, it has been nice interacting. Have a very wonderful day, and don't forget, special children are special. Thank you very much.